And so this bleeds into the mental aspect of it. So how you or your child or who you're caring for can kind of start to look and defend against some of the bad things that can happen in someone who is mismanaging their diabetes, right? And if you look in any Facebook group, um, young or old, it can be so depressing because a lot of people out there have become victims to the disease. And I would argue that our system, our medical system, our healthcare system is designed to breed victims because victims are reliant on those supplying them with things. Um, so do not become a victim. Maintain your sense of faith and hope in something better. You are not doomed to your genetic fate. If you check any of my previous work on the genetic background of diabetes, it is not nearly as compelling as it's made out to be. Where's this cure? Where is the cure? I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast that I got the same spiel that you got if you were diagnosed, yesterday. We're all getting the same, stem cells, the cure is almost here. If you just spend your time waiting for the cure, you're going to spend the rest of your life waiting for a cure, right? So don't let any negativity around the possibility of the cure or the fact that you may have to have diabetes your whole life take away from your hope or your faith or your willingness to try more things to further your health, right? Do not let that negativity bleed into other aspects of your life, like your relationships, like your careers. I've seen it so many times where someone's lack of self-worth and willingness to take care of themselves based on the negativity around, well, there's no cure for diabetes. What's the point? And it bleeds into their work, their schoolwork, their careers, their relationship with their family and their loved ones. So it all starts with self-love and committing to self-betterment. So you need to make sure to safeguard that at all costs, because your health is your wealth. And especially in a young mind, even if you are an adult and you've just been diagnosed, the feeling of losing something you had before is going to drive you to act out in ways that you acted before. So do not let short-sighted, pleasure-seeking behavior distract you from the long-term implications of unmanaged diabetes, right? We all have those internal conversations of, well, I'm just going to treat myself just this once. I'm going to, kind of do what I know I'm not supposed to just this once. I'll treat myself just this one time. And then you start to get into the habit and the routine of doing these things regularly to the point that it is seriously negatively impacting your health. I think of drinking, alcohol with this. I think of unhealthy eating habits, takeout and meals you shouldn't be eating. So don't normalize self-sabotage in the name of doing what's normal, right? We talked about at the beginning of the podcast, trying to be normal and fitting in, or, oh, well, everyone else is, so I guess I ought to. I mean, this can, late work hours, not sleeping well, you may be experiencing a low or a high. You need to excuse yourself to handle those things, and you don't want to speak up because don't want to be inconvenient, right? So you just go along with things at your own expense. Do not encourage this. And when you see it, call yourself out and let people know what needs to be done and do it. So a lot of this has to do with where your attention is, right? And what you're giving your thoughts to. So diabetes can make you prone to always being worried about something. You're always kind of like guarding against something going wrong. and it's exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. Do not let this distract you from the possibility for good and positive things to come into your life. It makes a difference. Do not let diabetes rain on your daily parade. And then from an actual kind of a practical aspect and navigating the food and supplement world, the commercial side of diabetes, don't buy quick fixes. It's not you're the cure for your diabetes is not one payment of $39.99 away. It just isn't. Okay, so it's so we just wouldn't it be so nice if I could just give this wonderful salesman my money and then I just don't have to deal with this anymore? Maybe. In my experience, the journey that I've had in uncovering all the things about diabetes, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Okay, so I am a firm believer that you are never given something that you can't handle, and that it wasn't given to you for a reason with a purpose, and that it's something that you can learn from. Okay, so don't buy into things being marketed to you as the thing, the answer. Oh my God, you're doing all this stuff, you're missing this. Because guess what? I know this because I've been through it. I'm still today, 20 years in, gullible. So gullible. I'm like, well, maybe. What if this one is it? No, never is. It never is, right? So I bought supplements, gemstones, ointments, therapy sessions, massages, books. Oh, so many. And it's like, some of them were good. Some of them are still good. I still use some of them, but they are pieces in a much larger puzzle. Do not mistake steps in the right direction as your destination, right? This is a culmination of a lot of different things that need to be covered. Don't get sold on the quick fix. Coming from someone who has fallen for the quick fix many times.